Saturn is such a pain about control. Saturn like will not let off your ass, and you cannot be irresponsible. Like you don't even have chances to like fuck it up and fix it. Like getting that second chance from Saturn is not easy. You know, some of these other planets are way more forgiving. Saturn is not very forgiving at all. Everything is brutal over here. It's intense, it's very serious, and it's very like punishing because you know, the room that a normal person would have to make mistakes and to be human and to experiment and to try and to fill things out with no expectation, that room is gone when you go to Saturn, because whatever the outcome is of that exploration, you're responsible for it, and that responsibility generally tends to be a lot heavier than some of the other planets because Saturn is slow moving. So it's going to take you a very long time before you're able to move from that page to one.
I stopped practicing mental health and became an astrologer after almost 20 years of practice in mental health because I wanted to have more spiritual conversations. Okay? In astrology, the wheel represents the beginning and the end of life. It also represents the fact that life is eternal because God is eternal. This is why when we get married, we get a wedding ring and it goes in a circle because love truly never ends. Are you getting it? So the zodiac wheel is merely here to show us that all of us are one and we all feed off of each other. So when we're Aries at the sun, what it means is that we're here to learn how to be an Aries, okay? All of us are learning how to be our sun sign. In fact, that will be the most uncomfortable energy for us because it's all ego. And it's loaded and it's reactive. And depending on how much healing we've done, it can be very ineffective in helping us manage our lives. So if you want to know what an unhealed Aries looks like, I have a cheat code. It's somebody who has a poor relationship with spirituality. Someone who doesn't believe in God, doesn't believe in spirits, doesn't believe in anything that cannot be seen, okay? What I know personally is that all of us are spirits having a human experience. An unhealed Aries will tell you that spirituality is bullshit. Likewise, an unhealed Taurus is somebody who never mastered the confidence of Aries. Aries is bold. They're brash. They go for it. They're confident. This is their superpower. Nobody's a self-starter like an Aries. When Taurus, who has been given all the gifts of Venus and can make all the money in the world and get all the things that they want, is not successful, is because they have not mastered the gift of Aries. And the gift of Aries is confidence in your abilities. Because when you trust yourself, you take risk. Moving on to Gemini, an unhealed Gemini is one who has not mastered the gift of security that Taurus brings. You see, Taurus is all about feeling secure in your body, in your DNA, in your tradition, in your family, in your history. Gemini's sun, who does not come from a background, a home, a family that made them feel secure and stable, is going to be somebody that is unhealed and very toxic because a Gemini is supposed to be an improved version of Taurus. We cannot get to facts if we are not secure in who we are. It doesn't work that way. Likewise, an unhealed Cancer is somebody who never learned how to speak their mind. Cancer unhealed will just take on all the negativity that you're giving them. They feel it all, but they won't actually give it back. They will quietly plot to over-respond as opposed to addressing the issue in the moment. Because generally they don't like to rock the boat, and usually when they allow themselves to finally express those negative emotions, it comes out in very toxic ways. This is why Cancer is a very destructive water sign. In fact, all the water signs are destructive when it comes to communicating negative emotions. But Cancer in particular is the number one zodiac sign most likely to unalive their spouse. There's a reason for that data. Moving on to Leo. An unhealed Leo is somebody who thinks emotions are disgusting. See, do you see a theme here? Everybody who's unhealed is rejecting their shadow, okay? So Aries thinks there's no God. Taurus thinks that everything should just happen because they want it. They don't have to go get it. Gemini thinks that, you know, they can just make up a new reality because they don't feel secure in the one they have. Cancer thinks that speaking up their mind is only gonna make things worse, when really communication is a root of any good, healthy relationship. And then Leo thinks that feelings are trivial. They're stupid. They're childish. They're weak. You know, Leo thinks tears are weak, and they think being human is weak. They think being human is being egotistical, being confident, not showing any vulnerabilities. And for some reason, they wonder why they struggle in relationships when they suppress all of their feelings. A healthy Leo is somebody who's very comfortable in their emotionality, and it's exactly from that place that they're able to demand what they deserve, and they get it. Likewise, an unhealthy Virgo is somebody who never mastered the confidence of Leo, the honor of Leo, the dignity of Leo, the pride of Leo. Virgo likes to do unhelpful things in the shadows and pretend like they were not involved. That is actually their favorite move when they're unhealed. These are very toxic people that like to throw rocks and hide their hands. You see, had they mastered the confidence of Leo, they would actually throw the rocks to your face and tell you why you deserved it. Now, when Virgo steps in that energy and they do it right, it actually helps people get better because Virgo is the healer of the zodiac. And their unwillingness to heal themselves makes them it makes it very hard for them to heal anyone else because they're so out of touch with themselves. Moving on to Libra. Libra is going to be unhealed when they've never mastered the essence of purity. That is the gift that Virgo gave Libra. You see, Virgo is the very first adult of the zodiac, and Virgo was given a job at birth. This is why a lot of times Virgo grew up in families where they have to be highly self-reliant. A person who knows how to take care of themselves is very skilled at taking care of other people because they know their limits, they know their strengths, they know their weaknesses. A healthy Virgo knows all of that. So it's easier to achieve balance when you're working with facts, truth, data, and you have a good understanding of your own sense of control. A Libra that is unhealed is a Libra who is highly deceptive, highly manipulative, highly toxic, and does not take any responsibility for any of it. You see, Virgo hates lies. So an unhealed Libra is somebody who clearly did not master Virgo energy. Moving on to Scorpio, an unhealed Scorpio. An unhealed Scorpio is someone who did not master Libra energy. And what's Libra energy about? It's about balance, right? It's about balance between me and you. There's here on earth, we all have to share space. And when there's a problem between us, it's because some of it is your responsibility and some of it is my responsibility. Libra understands that. This is why when there's an issue, Libra isn't quick to take a stand because they want to look at all sides. A Scorpio that is unhealed has never mastered this energy of balance. When these people are emotionally triggered, their brain stops working and then their emotions drive everything. And let me tell you, I've seen these people drive their lives into the ground just because of unresolved traumatic experiences that they've had in their lives that prevented them from, feeling like they were getting the respect that they deserve. See, these people are very obsessed with power and control. Think Diddy, yes, he's a Scorpio sun. Ike Turner, yeah, Scorpio, you get the theme. I know both are men, but this personality trait is also evident in women. These people want power, but they don't care about how their desire for power affects other people. And that's what makes them unhealed, because they end up hurting others. Moving on to Sagittarius. A Sagittarius that is unhealed is somebody who never developed a relationship with God, with spirituality, with faith, with this idea of karma, this idea of responsibility for the greater good. They were supposed to learn that as a Scorpio. This is why Scorpio is the first spiritual zodiac sign. This ability that God gave Scorpio to be able to read people's intentions was not for Scorpio to use it to get power, but rather Scorpio to use it to heal themselves and help others find their way through life. You see, Scorpio, when healed, is a catalyst for your growth. A Sagittarius, when healed, is mastered Scorpio, so they speak their truth and they help you develop yourself. And yes, truth hurts, so naturally, healing is painful. But unhealed, all these people do is lie. Literally. That's all they do. That's all they can do, because they're in their low vibration. Moving on to Capricorn. A Capricorn that is healed has learned the meaning of the truth, facts, reality, data, black and white, on paper. A Capricorn that is unhealed lives in the fantasy created for them by Sagittarius, the liar. You see the theme here? Capricorn only works in facts, not emotions. Because when you get to be a Capricorn, you learn to keep your emotions in check. And you do what makes sense over what feels good. Unhealed Capricorn is still trying to feel good. Moving on to Aquarius. Unhealed Aquarius is somebody who never mastered Capricorn, which is responsibility, suffering. A lot of Capricorn's life is about suffering because it's from that suffering that their integrity is developed, their confidence is developed, their character is developed. Unhealed Aquarius, they'll talk the talk but cannot walk the walk. It's all noise, no action. And what's worse is when they use all their skills and talent to spread misinformation. Lastly, unhealed Pisces is somebody who never understood that there is a price to pay for being alive. To be a human on this wheel with all of us is that we have to contribute goodness to one another. This is why Pisces is the most compassionate, kind, and loving zodiac sign, because Pisces represents the love of God. The love of God is for everybody. It's not just for the people that look like you. It's not just for the people that you like. It's not just for the people who speak your language. It's for everyone. A Pisces that is unhealed will discriminate. They will be unkind. They will be cold. They will be mean because they don't understand karma. What you give is what you get. It's come to my attention that a bunch of finance bros have been watching my YouTube channel. If you would like me to teach you how to use astrology to make money, let me know. Because I'm a therapist by trade, I never thought about using it beyond healing. But I can help. I know a couple things about. In this video, to say thank you to all of you who watch my content, who share it with your friends and family, and who leave me comments and who interact with it. I'm not looking at the screen because I'm also driving, so I kind of have to multitask. Don't be offended. When I started making TikTok videos, I was in a really dark place. I was depressed because I'd recently been diagnosed with lupus, I was working a corporate job that I loved and was really good at, and I had no intentions of switching jobs, let alone careers. So I am just as shocked to have discovered this path as you were shocked to have discovered me. And I know that I am a bluebird of some sort because you probably have never met anyone like me, and that's okay. That doesn't mean you get to put me on the pedestal because I'm just a human being like you, struggling with life like you, struggling with ADHD and anxiety and depression like you, struggling with trying to find passion in my life like you, trying to find meaning, trying to be a good mom, a good wife, trying to be a good daughter and a good sister. Like, I am still a human being. My life is not perfect. The fact that my career here on TikTok started with me roasting the zodiac signs should tell you that my life is not perfect, and I never want to pretend that it is. Now, I understand that when you are online and people watch you on the screen, they like to project their storylines onto you. That's fine. This is what I signed up for. But I will always use my throat chakra to let you guys know what's really going on. So for those of you guys that are newcomers to this space, thank you for being here. Those of you that have been here since the beginning, thank you for being here. You guys give me a second chance at a career, because when I left my original career due to my health issues, I didn't know what was next for me. And honestly, my health and staying alive was my focus. So now that my health situation is under control, it's been such a gift to know that I still have work, that I'm still useful to the world and to society in some capacity, and that my lupus and my disability isn't keeping me from being able to make a meaningful contribution in others' lives, because honestly, that is all that I've ever known that I was made for, to be of service. That's that much I know. And that's why I became a therapist. And that's why I'm now working as an astrologer and life coach. I love to serve. Service is what I'm best at. That's what I'm good at. Sometimes my words are harsh. I need you to not take it personally. Because I know in the West, people like to sugarcoat. No, I shouldn't say in the West. That's not true. Because Europeans are a lot more direct. Americans are very much so into faking the funk. Americans love sweet words that mean nothing and that aren't followed with sweet behavior. That's the favorite American pastime. Those of us that are not from America and that have grown up in other parts of the world, if you're German, you know what I'm talking about. If you're Indian, you know what I'm talking about. If you're African, you know what I'm talking about, right? If you're Dominican, if you're Puerto Rican, if you're Middle Eastern, You know what I'm talking about. Our parents don't sweet talk to us. They talk to us like gangsters that have a drinking habit, okay? So we were not raised in an environment where we were cuddled. So I don't cuddle. I don't know how to cuddle. My child is teaching me how to cuddle. She is literally the only being I cuddle. Outside of my child, everybody else is getting the smoke. On top of that, my culture is a mixture of West African and French. Have you ever gone to France? Have you ever been around French people? Do you see how French people speak to you? Especially when you're mispronouncing French words? So you want me to take West African, spicy AF, and French culture, judgmental AF, and wrap that into a bow of like fake sweet? I can't. I beg. I can't. I can't do it. But I will strive to be more gentle, yes, with my speech, because my intent is not to offend, but rather to enlighten. I want you to open your brain and receive new information. I want you to be smarter because you've met me. I want you to live a better life because you've met me. I want you to believe in yourself because you've met me. I want you to be so gangsta about getting the things that you want out of your life because you've met me. I want you to stop playing games with yourself because you met me. I want you to wake up to this truth that you are the shit. And then some because you've met me. And we're not gonna get there if I lie to you and play games. So yes, I am harsh. I am hard. But that's because I believe in you. And I'm putting my whole heart and soul into this. So I need you to join me with that same level of dedication. And if you're not somebody that's serious about improving themselves, then this space is not for you. Because I am a Virgo Mars baby. All I do is find problems, and I'm very good at it.
100 videos about astrology in a year is intense. That's not something you do casually. That's something that consumes you. Yeah, I did that. And now here we are all sitting together feeling cozy. Isn't that nice? That's kind of how manifestation works. And this is a gift that I had that was like dormant. I had no intentions of being on this path. This is what's so interesting about life. All of the stuff that we do, thinking we're like controlling the narrative, whenever we start overstepping that line between desire and possession, because the two are very different. Like you could desire something and then leave it to the universe to bring that thing to you. But whenever you start getting possessive about the how the thing goes down and the mechanics of how that is delivered to you, that's when your manifestation starts to not work. Because at that point, you're no longer asking the universe to help you. You're actively trying to be God. Thank you so much for saying that you love the content. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me when people tell me that. So I always love hearing that because that's why I started doing this. I wanted it to be helpful to someone. So getting that feedback definitely makes me feel amazing. So thank you so much for all of you who enjoy the content and all of you who are engaging with it so that TikTok is not, keeping like my videos from being seen, because I make it so you guys can see it. So every time when you see it, if you can interact with it, like it, post a comment, thumbs up, thumbs down, boo, yay. Any of that, I think that would be super helpful. Someone said you're the creator of your universe. Whatever is easier to put out your content, making you happy. Thank you for saying that, Amore. That is very true, and that's an energy I've been leaning into more, especially because my North Node is in Cancer, so I know when my life is moving in the right direction. I am less of the Capricorn life that I've lived so far and more of the Cancer life that I'm envisioning for myself and that I'm channeling now, which is, going with the flow, going with what feels good, as opposed to being intentional about every second of the day, which is typically more my style. So yeah, some people have issues with lack of motivation. I have issues with too much motivation. And it sounds like it's cuter, but it's not. They're both just as toxic. I want this to mean something for someone. I want this to, I know it sounds really corny, but I am an Aquarius, so there is some idealism here that is always here, even though I have all the cynicism of Saturn. There's still this heart that desires more from people and from life, And ideally, this would mean something to somebody. That's top of the line wish. So if it's doing more than that, then we're already great. Then it was useful, like it meant something. And I know that sounds very like, I'm an artist, and, but yeah, that's what it is.
Aquarius rules progress, intellect, science, aviation, AI, technology, medicine.